The Bitcoin price is about to hit a massive buy signal. This is a Bitcoin golden cross. It's upon us. And in past cycles, every time a golden cross appeared on the 2-month chart, it led to a massive BTC rally. Is history repeating? Just like this, just like this, just like this, and just like now. Because not only in the last 24 hours did we see massive regulatory bullish news from the UK, to legally recognize cryptocurrency like Bitcoin as personal property, huge fundamental green flag. And not only have we seen our second positive day for US Bitcoin ETF inflows, so any healthy market has 5 steps forward, a few steps back, 4 steps forward, a few steps back. The institutions have begun accumulating again, but now the Bitcoin golden cross is upon us.
Also, speaking of this sexy chart, this is a nice one. Titan of Crypto. This talks about a Bitcoin golden cross.
So actually, before we get to what's happening today, and now that we've liked the video, by the way, special announcement at the end of today's video, so watch the whole thing. But let's just be very clear on what we mean when we say golden cross, and then in opposition, death cross.
Actually, on the 10th, Bitcoin performed or completed something called a death cross.
So in my interview from a few weeks ago with crypto trader Tom Crown, we discussed what a death cross is. To clue in everybody, when you say a death cross, that's when the shorter term moving average goes below the longer term moving average, signaling bearish momentum in the short term that's crossing over to the long term. I'm slowly learning how to trade, Tom, and I've heard some experts say that that's a trailing indicator, that once it's everything happens up leading to it, but once it happens, it's not going to happen after.
There is definitely validity to that statement. I love it. I love that you're getting into trading, man. You got my number. Text me anytime. I hear that a lot, and I think you're right. It is without a doubt a lagging indicator, and you can even see that literally on the chart right here. The death cross happened on the 10th. Price bought out the 5th and moved right back to it.
So whether it's a death cross or a golden cross, that means when a shorter term moving average crosses over the longer term moving average, signaling a change in the underlying market momentum.
I know people have all sorts of weird golden crosses. The true golden cross is the 50-day and 200-day. Some people look at the 50-week and 200-week, but this one is the 2-month chart.
And while some people do say that these are trailing indicators, this one does seem to be leading, meaning the pump happened after. But also keep in mind, not all golden crosses are tradable, right? It depends on the moving average, right? You wouldn't trade the 1-day versus the 2-day. Only some moving averages have this history.
The beauty of this is you get to see history repeat over and over and over again. When we get a gold chart, that means the shorter term window covers the longer term window. And here we had a golden cross like clockwork in 2012, again on the 2-month, in 2016, in 2020, and 2024. We just had it now.
I was actually watching Invest Answers today, and I thought he had a really good, interesting take.
And in past cycles, every time a golden cross appeared on the 2-month chart, it led to a massive Bitcoin rally. The question we have, everybody, is will this time be any different? And I think we're getting a rally. The setup is perfect. Yes, we've been through a horrible summer. That's okay. Yes, we went up too high too early with the ETF catalyst. Yes, the pre-halving all-time high was an anomaly. Yes, but we're still way higher than we expected to be at this stage of the game.
I'm going to keep my eye on charts like this and some other metrics, so the minute something happens, I'm going to keep you informed. Be sure to click subscribe for 1 video per day, keeping you informed about crypto. We are so close to hitting 1.5 million subscribers. And I actually have an announcement that affects you. Many of you know Altcoin Daily became a contributor for The Street, which is a legacy news site. It was founded by Jim Cramer back in the day. It's like a CNBC, it's like a Fox Business, and it's traditional financial news. About 12 months ago, they got a crypto component. Altcoin Daily became a contributor. Scott Melker, Wolf of Wall Street, became a contributor. Mario Nafal, huge Twitter following, as well as Cryptos R Us and many others. And you may be asking, Austin, why would you want to go into the mainstream, maybe lamestream media? You got something better right here. You have millions of subscribers on YouTube. Your audience skews younger, meaning this is the new generation. Why would you want to contribute to something that, yes, the street does have a large audience? It has over 30 million monthly returning viewers, users coming back on the platform, 30 million-ish per month, yet it skews older. And my brother and I said, that's the opportunity. Now we can reach everybody. So for the last 12-ish months, you may have seen altcoin daily articles in the legacy media on the street explaining crypto, breaking down Bitcoin. And this is not run by Jim Cramer anymore. He actually sold it. One of the elites of media, James Heckman, looked this guy up. He bought the street crypto. I actually sat down with him just to better understand his background.
I ended up building a company called Rivals.com, which was the largest sports network in the world with SoftBank. That sold to Yahoo. That's still, operating. Built the first Substack, basically a global subscription network that I sold to News Corp. Chief strategy officer for everything digital for Rupert Murdoch. I ran global media strategy for Yahoo, helped put together the architecture for Hulu. Just built a company, Maven, that got renamed Arena. Several $100 million of revenue, network, also a digital media platform. So I've been doing this for a very long time.
And actually the street, owned by Roundtable powered by the street, is in the very early stages of launching an app. This app is out now. You can download it in any app store. And this is a decentralized premium forum. I am an equity co-founder. George of Cryptos R Us, equity owning co-founder. Same with Mario, same with Scott. And we are building this to finally be free with James of traditional media censorship, because here's the real problem.
Really saw the evolution of, two things. One, convergence. So this idea of democratization of journalism has, really been, harmed dramatically because monopolization and centralization of platforms and advertising happened, like it always does, like it did with newspapers and radios. And then cable, there's so many cable, but ended up with 3 or 4 companies. The internet, everybody can be a blogger. And then, of course, it consolidated down and ad agencies cut off all the little guys.
So in order to fight big tech, being able to cut off advertising revenue, and even if the street by itself has great intentions, if it's not decentralized, if it doesn't have a blockchain component, they could shut anything down or censor anything.
Journalism is not real, anymore. Whether it's big pharma or advertising dictating what can be covered, or the White House cutting off media funding or offering media funding, if there's a certain narrative that's supportive, there really is an artificial economy that's driven by, financial interests.
So this is the goal of the Roundtable app. Bring together some of the largest players in crypto, in finance, team up with a guy in media who's done it before.
And so what we're trying to do at Roundtable is to basically leverage my experience and technical expertise.
And then, of course, we need a guy who's an expert for the blockchain component, because many Web 2 companies have failed, even though they have experts on the Web 2 side. You need somebody technically capable to handle the blockchain component.
We just acquired a company called DWeb, Decentralized Web. It was founded by Eyal Herzog, who I'm sure you know is the inventor and architect of decentralized finance.
This is one of the inventors of automated market making, i.e. one of the original players for DeFi.
Quite a brilliant guy, invented automated market making. But the combination of our user experience and digital media platform and integrating with a payment and economy that's integrated into that experience gives consumers an opportunity to connect with journalists like yourself who can operate objectively without influence and can earn income and build distribution and have customer relationships without it being disruptive by major media or major advertising.
So again, this is very early. In fact, Altcoin Daily today only has 155 followers and growing. Highly recommend being a part of the first 2,000 followers. Link down below. You got to download the app. And let's just be very clear on what this is. Crypto Media Coalition Roundtable, unveils Token, RTB, to empower independent journalism and free speech. I loved this 2-minute breakdown.
Yeah, so when I was CEO of Arena, I negotiated and purchased the street from Jim Cramer, and had about 250 other, major brands. I launched Roundtable with an exclusive license on the street to handle crypto and Bitcoin. And, we've got Bitcoin Magazine on the platform as well. But everything that I've done in the past is to build a media platform, a digital media platform. So Roundtable, the actual name is RTB Digital, is a platform where journalists can operate, earn money, keep their own data, build relationships with their customers. And we are partnered with my former company, which I'm a founder or the founder and a major shareholder, with the street because of that huge audience that you're talking about, 30 million. They syndicate to over 200 million financial interests around the world with MSN, and 90 million for Yahoo. So if you're a crypto journalist, just like you've learned when you see all of a sudden you're showing up on Yahoo or you're showing up on the street, you've got distribution that's 10, 20 times bigger than, the smaller crypto publications that have been, really the voice of a cottage industry. And the point is that crypto and Bitcoin is no longer a cottage industry. It's a huge industry. Who's going to be the next Google? Who's going to be the next Facebook? And we have that access to mainstream media. But ultimately, we're operating on our own digital media platform. So as we move into sports and lifestyle and all elements of finance, news and politics, which is, what I love to do, we'll be doing it on our own platform. It's a Web3 based platform, so you'll never lose your customers, Austin. You'll never be dependent on outside advertising if you don't want to. You can take direct contributions, you can take tips, and advertisers can pay in our RTB token. So we think it's very important to have control of your own platform. Otherwise, you're really at the mercy of whatever happens to be on the mind of the CEO of a major Silicon Valley platform.
And this is why, to me, this is so revolutionary. The street crypto, with their millions and millions of monthly returning users, are going to start funneling that audience into Roundtable App. James also owns the Hockey News, which for sports has millions and millions of users. They are going to have their own forum on Roundtable App, going to start funneling their viewers into Roundtable.
And so whenever I come into, like when we put together Hulu, I was there for that first meeting of every major media company. When I put together several sports networks, we invite a lot of people who already have followers. With our crypto network, we invited, you and George Tung and Mario Nafal and Scott Milker, who are all partners. So number one, you're showing up with access to millions of crypto viewers. So on day one, I think we're probably 10 times bigger than Steemit at their peak, and they were probably, I would say, the most successful. We have access to 30 million viewers. There's never been a crypto company that starts with stories that can reach 30 million users on the street. Your stories syndicate to that 90 million in Yahoo and 200 million in MSN. Our story on our token yesterday, you can read it on Benzinga, Business Insider, investors.com, MSN, Yahoo, the street. And so on day one, we have this big reach that advertisers, of course, want to reach, and we have the right to sell advertising. So we already have millions of dollars of revenue today, right? We already reach tens of millions, if not 100 million users through the various finance channels. We're already expanding in sports. We operate the Hockey News. We've grown it in just a little more than a year from 1 million viewers, moved onto our platform, hit 9 million page views last month. So on average, about 1.15. So we're talking at least 7 or 8 million. So think about the Hives, the Steemits out there with a few 100,000. So on our platform, monetized by mainstream media, the first Web3 platform. And when you add, it's millions and millions of people on day one. So the first thing is we have access to distribution, mainstream distribution. 2, we already have millions of viewers. We already have millions of advertising. That's never happened before, and it's really hard. But I think the decades of experience that we have in relationships, we were able to convince major brands, major advertisers, you guys, right, that we knew what we were doing, that we had access to those kind of dollars and that kind of distribution.
Now, this is all powered by the RTB token.
But what I really like is the economic side.
Contributors can get paid in that or tipped in that. Advertisers can pay in RTB token as well, also cash.
Where you can get paid in RTB and you can never have that cut off. Decentralized payment system, decentralized advertising system. They're your users as opposed to a Silicon Valley based platform that you can keep like compounding interest, and you can talk to them directly. You don't have to pay Instagram or Twitter or whatever to reach your own people. Austin, this is your business, and we're just a technical provider for you, and sell advertising.
And what's in it for you? Well, every day, the contributors, the community partners, whether it's Mario, Altcoin Daily, ourselves, Cryptos Are Us, etc., we are responding in the comments. It's much easier to talk to you guys because there's no bots. It's a bot-free experience. And there's also a video component, which I think is cool.
So I think it's going to revolutionize everything. When you think about Spaces, which is a linear program where you sit and listen, and it's awesome. IL's actually invented a on-demand Spaces. So somebody can do a video, ask you a question, they can go to sleep. Mario can wake up in Dubai, answer the question, and then have a conversation virtually with millions of people. So there's that. We have staging for elite journalists, so that users are able to have their conversations, but the elite journalists aren't disrupted, which is not possible on Twitter or Instagram. I don't know, there's 20 features that I think, and I don't want to use up too much of your time, but this is, over 4 years in development, backed with millions of dollars, Israeli PhDs, and a world-class product team. I've built 10 platforms over the last 35 years that have ended up in the hands of News Corp, Fox, NFL, Yahoo twice. I think we really know what we're doing in terms of bringing a product to market.
So highly, highly recommend being a part of our first 10,000, but really 2,000 subscribers. Link down below. This is actually the desktop website, but check out the mobile app as well. I like the mobile app. Always more to discuss, but like always, see you tomorrow.